Welcome back to Neighborhood Store List. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my new playmat. Yay! Just kidding. I'm going to present to you guys my new Bystial Resonator deck. This is by far the best thing I've seen in a while as far as synchros go. It comes in great handy with Bystial Dissipator and of course Chaos Angel. I haven't had a chance to take this to locals yet, but I'm hoping that this week will be a different story. But for right now, let's just get straight on to the build. First, we have 3 Soul Resonators. With the Soul Resonator, it has the effect of if it's normal special summon, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand, except Soul Resonator. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Dark Synchro monsters. If a card you control will be destroyed by card effect while you control Red Dragon Archfiend, or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use the effect once per turn. But it's great to search out for your Bone Archfiend, which Bone Archfiend can send a card from your deck to the graveyard to increase or decrease the level of another monster's star. We also have 2 Vision Resonators. Vision Resonator's effect is, if a level 5 or higher dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Vision Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend from your deck to your hand. Comes in handy to search out for Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia can search out for another card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend, so you can search out another Sacred Monster or even Red Zone. The next up is I have 3 Crimson Resonators, and the effect of Crimson Resonator is, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the only other monster you control is exactly 1 Dark Dragon Synchro monster, you can special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from your hand or deck, except Crimson Resonator. You can only use each effect of Crimson Resonator once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Dark Dragon Synchro monsters. They can reactivate this card effect, or either effect. And then I only run 2 Synchron Resonators. Synchron Resonator's effect is, if a Synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon 1 Synchron Resonator once per turn this way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Resonator monster in your graveyard except Synchron Resonator and add it to your hand. So it's great for recycling your tuners. Next, we have 3 Bone Archfiends. Bone Archfiend's effect is, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send 1 other card from your hand or field to the graveyard and special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Dark Synchro Dragon monsters. You can target 1 face-up monster you control that has a level, send 1 Fiend tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, increase or decrease that monster's level by 1. As I said earlier, that's good to get out your Vision Resonator, so Vision Resonator can activate his effect, Engrave. Search out for another card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. Next, the next part of the deck is the Bystials. 3 Bystial Libellions. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by tributing 1 level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster. You can only special summon the Bystial Libellion once per turn its way. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 Bystial monster from your deck, except the Bystial Libellion. During the main phase, you can place 1 brand continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field, and you can only use each effect of Libellion once per turn. I run 2 Bystial Sereners because it has the effect that when it is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Bystial monster or 1 brand spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard. You can target 1 light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. This is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. And this is basically every level 6 Bystial monster's effect. I run 1 Juris Worm because it has a pop effect. This card is a quick, if your opponent controls a monster, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 special summon monster opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. So it does target, but it doesn't destroy. So any card that cannot be destroyed by card effect is not protected from being sent. Then I run 1 Bystial Magnum Hut, and this effect is, If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add one dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So that's also good to get another Bystial monster in your hand or get it from the graveyard. Of course, no deck is complete without hand traps, so we run 3 Ash Blossoms and 3 Infinite Impermanences. Now I'll get onto the spells and traps of the deck. I run 3 Crimson Gaias, which has the effect that during your main phase, you can add 1 Red Dragon Archfiend or 1 card that matches it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except Crimson Gaia. When your Red Dragon Archfiend monster declares an attack, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard, and you can only use each effect once per turn. And of course, to search out, we have 3 Resonator calls, which of course adds 1 Resonator monster from your deck to your hand. 3 Pot of Prosperities. Banish 3 or 6 cards of your choice from your extra deck, face down. For the rest of this turn, after this effect resolves, any damage your opponent takes is halves. Also, excavate cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards banished. Add 1 excavate card to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only activate this once per turn, but the downside is you cannot draw cards by card effects the turn you activate this card. And of course, I run 1 call by because it is the year of hand traps. And I run 2 red zones. When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control Red Dragon Archfiend or a synchro monster that matches it, you can target 1 card in the field and destroy it. You can target 1 of your banished Dark Dragon Synchro monsters, special summon it. You can only use each effect of red zone once per turn. And for the Bystials, I have 1 Branded Beast. Once per turn during the main phase, if you control a Bystial monster, you contribute 1 Dragon monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. During the end phase, you can target 1 branded continuous spell or trap in your graveyard and place a face up on your field. And for extra draws, I also added Branded Regained. If a light or dark monster is banished except during a damage step, you can target 1 of those monsters, place that monster on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw 1 card. You'll activate this effect of Branded Regained once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent normally special summons a monster, except during a damage step, you can target 1 Bystial monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And that's it for the main deck. Now let's get on to the extra deck. In the extra deck, I run 3 Red Rising Dragons because he's easy to get into. The effect is, when this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 Resonator monster from your graveyard and special summon it. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck this turn. You activate this effect except Dark Dragon Sacred monsters. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target 1 Resonator monster in your graveyard and special summon both. Oh, target 2, level 1. Hold on a second. There's a little bubble in the way. Target 2, level 1 Resonator monsters from your graveyard and special summon both. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. A little bubble on the card sleeves makes it hard to read sometimes. I also have 1 Red Dragon Archfiend. 1 is enough because of the extra monsters in your extra deck. And this one is, after damage calculation, if this card attacked an opponent's defense position monster, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls, which works well with Crimson Gaia. Destroy once per turn. During your end phase, destroy all other monsters you control that did not declare an attack this turn. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. I also run 2 Scarred Dragon Archfiends. This card's name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is sent to from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck. It is treated as a synchro summon. Then, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a dark synchro dragon monster, you can destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. So, if you use that to get out anything big, then you pretty much wipe your opponent's board. Of course, 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend for a burn. This card's name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while it is on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can destroy as many special summon effect monsters in the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this card, other than this card. Then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. Then I run 1. Bills of the Diabolic Dragons. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. When you take damage from an attack involving this card, or from an opponent's card effect, this card gains attack equal to the damage you took. The best part is it can continue to climb up and it'll never go down. It's like having Draco Berserker the Tenya in your deck without the second attack effect. And then for the 1-ofs, I have the Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. You can tribute 1 monster, then target 1 Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 2 tuners with the same level, 1 from the deck and 1 from the graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect once per turn. Then 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Quick effect, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 tuner in your graveyard and special summon in defense position. 1 Red Supernova Dragon. Must be synchro summoned, gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effects. Once per turn, when your opponent's monster's effect is activated, or when an opponent's monster declares an attack, quick effect, you can activate this effect, banish this card, also banish all cards your opponent controls. Once per turn during the next end phase, after this card is banished by its owner's effect, you can special summon it back. So not only does it have a 4,000 attack, but with every tuner in your graveyard, you can just climb up to almost 8,000 attack. And for the last Dragon Archfiend in this deck, 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. When this card is synchro summoned, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to his effect's activation. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target 1 level 8 or lower Dark Dragon Sacred monster in your graveyard and special summon it. I barely get him out. I usually just use that anymore to get my Pot of Prosperity draws. Though he has a great effect, it's very hard to get him out. Next up we have Crimson Dragon. He may be a light monster, but if I can get away from the only special summon Dark Sacred Dragon monsters, he comes in handy really well. If this card is special summon, you can add 1 spell trap that mentions Crimson Dragon from your deck to your hand. Quick effect, you can target 1 level 7 or higher Sacred monster on the field except Crimson Dragon. Return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon 1 Dragon Sacred monster from your extra deck with the same level as the targeted monster, and it's treated as a Sacred summon. Then we have Bystial Dissipator. You can target 1 banished light or dark monster, special summon it to your field. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 banished card, shuffle it into the deck, and if you shuffle it into your deck, destroy that monster, and if you shuffle it into your opponent's deck, negate the activated effect. And for the last card for that, 1 Chaos Angel. The only downside is he's a fiend instead of a dragon, but if I can get around the whole only special summon and Dark Dragon Sacred monsters, he comes in handy. For this card, Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 light or dark monster you control as a tuner. If this card is special summon, you can target 1 card on the field, banish it. This card gains these effects based on the original attributes of materials used for its Synchro Summon. Light. Synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent, and dark. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So if you have Lebellion and, say, Soul Resonator, which would be tacked up to level 4, you would get both the effects of Chaos Angel and pretty much protect your whole board from everything except for spells and traps. And that is it for the extra deck. Now to get onto some test hands. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we got here. Okay, not a bad start. First, I would special summon Crimson Resonator, just so that way I can have a level 2 monster on the field. Let's see. I will send Bystial to attempt to add a dragon Bystial monster. So let's see. Let's just grab Bystial Sarner. Normal summon Soul. Attempt to activate Soul's effect. I would grab Bone Archfiend from the deck. Discard a card to special summon him. Use Bone Archfiend's effect. Send Vision Resonator from your deck to the graveyard. And then I would lower his star level by 1 to make him a level 6. Vision Resonator's effect would activate, and I would grab Crimson Gaia. Vision Resonator served this purpose, so I would banish it, special summon Sarner. Then I would activate Sarner's effect. Oh no, not activate his effect. I would tribute him to special back Bystial Lebellion. Bystial Sarner's effect would kick in. I would kick Brandon Regain to the graveyard. And Lebellion's effect, I would set Brandon Beast face up. And now I start climbing into some monsters. I'll take Soul Resonator and Bone Archfiend into the Red Rising Dragon. Target Red Rising Dragon's effect. I'll target my Soul Resonator, special summon it back. And now I have a level 3, level 2, and a level 6 Synchro monster on the field. I will take these two, Synchro off until Dissipator. Use Dissipator's effect, target Vision Resonator, special summon it back. Then I'll take these two into Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Let's see what else we got here. That's not really such a bad first go hand. Activate Crimson Gaia. Activate the effect to search for a card that mentions it and add it from my deck to my hand. So for that, I will grab Vision Resonator for now. Get an end phase, activating Brandon Beast. Brandon Regained. So now whenever I banish a card, I can target one of those monsters, place on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. Let's just say I make it through turn 2 without nothing happening. We'll draw a card. Oh, good. Special summon that. And let's see, now we have level 12. Activate Bone Archfiend's effect. Tribute off Soul Resonator for Bone Archfiend. Special Vision Resonator because I have a level 5 or higher Dark Monster. Let's see what else we got here. Barter Tree's effect. I will dump, say, a Synchron Resonator. And now I'm going to increase Synchron Resonator's star by 2. So now I officially have 2 level 2 tuners and a level 8 monster. Now with that, I can get out King Calamity. And right there, between these two monsters, it's almost impossible to get around. Call by in hand just in case if there's any hand traps. Well, that's it for the test hands. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a great build? Let me know in the comment section below. And until then, have a great day.